attacks from the province, and now there are calls for the UK to do the same. Our political correspondent, Ali Fortescue, has this exclusive report.
He may be a long way from Xinjiang now, but Irbakit still has the scars. From shackles on his legs, handcuffs on his arms, from the time he spent at a detention camp, imprisoned for downloading WhatsApp.
Is it difficult to talk about what happened to you, even now?
Irbakit says at times he was tortured to the point of passing out. He is Chinese by birth, but an ethnic Kazakh. He fled the country 3 years ago. Irbakit was forced to work in a clothing factory, and cotton from Xinjiang is still finding its way to the British high street.
20% of the world's cotton is grown in Xinjiang, and higher percentages of it are processed and made into fabric and apparel.
Now he's threatening to sue the British government if it doesn't ban imports from the region.
The UK know so much about what's going on in the Uyghur region. They know just how pervasive forced labor is there and how much it pervades our supply chains now. To vote to not create this legislation or to vote against such kinds of legislation is tantamount to saying we approve of forced labor products entering into our borders.
Last year, the US announced a total import ban on cotton products from Xinjiang. But where they've strengthened their laws, the UK hasn't. Big companies here have to show that they're avoiding using slavery in their supply chains, but there's no penalty if they fail to do so.
And it's not just campaign groups that want Britain to be tough on China.
How closely linked are we to slave labour?
I think we're very closely linked. We need to be on the front of this, actually leading the way, not as we've now become, dragging our heels behind the rest. So we need to make it much more difficult.
The British government have condemned human rights violations in Xinjiang. A spokesperson said the UK is absolutely committed to tackling the issue of Uyghur forced labour in supply chains and say they've taken decisive action. Over the last year, they say they've introduced new guidance on the risks of doing business in Xinjiang, as well as enhanced export controls, and have committed to introduce financial penalties for organisations that don't comply with modern slavery reporting requirements. Beijing has always denied human rights violations, but China's been accused of torture in concentration camps and genocide in Xinjiang.
What's your message to the British government?
Angliya hükümetine endi koyup atkan bizning talabimiz endi yani de şu anda maaşlarını bir joyda qoldirmay bu qo'lga olib bu ishni bir uchuna chiqarib bir nima qilsa bo'ladi deyman. Men de bu yerda kelgandan keyin o'zimning hayotimni, uydagilarni, hech kimning qanday bo'layotganini qaramasdan.
Irbakit was warned talking to us could endanger his family. It's taken courage for him to speak out. Now he wants the government here to send a message to. Ali Fortescue, Sky News.